Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. Thanks so much for taking the time. Maybe you could just begin with a brief intro. Where do we find Miranda and Max at the beginning of the Mallorca Files season 3?
I think we find them where we left them, really, season 2, which is 3 years ago. So they look slightly older, but it's sort of picking up from where we left off, really.
Exactly. So we just as if there was no time in between.
And what about for you, though, stepping back onto set after, such a long break? Was it like, sipping on an old pair of slippers? Was there a little bit of, reacclimatizing to your roles, to your characters? What was it like being able to jump back into these characters for you?
It was quite emotional, to be honest, because like 3 years we haven't been on set with Max and Miranda, and season 1 and season 2 we've shot quite within 2 years. Mm-hmm. So it was quite a there was a summer in between or something like that, yeah. And now we jumped back in, and it was lovely to be on set again. We see all the lovely faces. We have all the family. We are meanwhile like a little family, and we've missed them for 3 years, and now we're back on set again, being in this character. And on the call sheet it says Max, Miranda, and you're like, Max again, and it was great. It was great to be back.
We'd lived through a pandemic. That's something. What we went through was huge. And so I don't know, and maybe just because we'd aged as well, I don't know, but it wasn't necessarily like slipping back into it very easily. There was like definitely a moment of, okay, can we still do this? It was like deep breath, but, and then obviously after a little while, you're like, oh yeah, you find your groove, and nothing, it feels like you've never been away.
And in terms of, this amazing chemistry that you've been able to build over 2 seasons, what might be the same or different between Max and Miranda this time around? I mean, I guess they've always got this kind of odd couple dynamic between them, but then there's, these heightened tensions, with things going on in their personal lives. So what might be, a continuation of what's come before, and what might be different this time around for both of them?
Yeah, I think we meet the characters in different situations of their lives. Like this Max's father's coming to the island, so we see him interact with a family member, which we didn't see before. So how is this going to turn out? We meet Miranda in a different situation. I think that's interesting to as an audience, if you like Max and Miranda, to see them in different, in new situations and get to know them even better.
Yeah. I think series 3 also has sort of comes back to what's at the heart of the show, really, the will they, won't they. So there's quite a bit more of that in series 3. I suppose the series 2, they were sort of settling into a very like respectful working relationship, whereas now with Carmen leaving and obviously Miranda has a love interest, it's sort of opened the door for that dynamic again, which, I think people really enjoy that. It's like I said, it's what's at the heart of the show, and it's the part of the show I think people tend to really enjoy. Are they going to get it on or not?
And after having been able to spend so much time with your characters, how would you describe each of them? How do you see them? And what do you like most about playing them?
I really do love the fun part of it. So basically what I'm looking for as an actor, if I'm Max, I'm trying to find something to annoy my partner. So, on set, like, oh yeah, I could use this, I could use that. And this is quite it's a nice, that's I love it. It's really fun to be Max. And when you work 5 days a week and you're there, and it's so nice to have like this fun side to go to all of the time. So that's really enjoy this about Max being Max.
And for you, Ellen, constantly being wound up. That's Miranda.
Because, he really gets under her skin and she can't stand him, but also like she adores him as well. And so the conflict, playing that internal conflict, is like, it's like always fun, and just sort of, he's had a huge impact on her. Like she's still, at her core has, some of the same characteristics, but also like she's evolved. She's decided to stay on the island, and then she kind of relaxes into that. And Max has had a massive influence on her. So I feel like, yeah, they're like constantly changing, evolving their relationship, but also them as people as well.
And I think what's great about the show is it does sort of balance, this really lighthearted, feel-good kind of element with, these real high stakes. And, some of the storylines in this series, kidnappings, arson, treasure hunts. Also, you got lots of international guest stars. Did you have a favorite episode or storyline or something that you really can't wait for fans to see?
No, I think it's the overall offer we have to make with season 3, like with all the places we can go. As you said, it's a treasure hunt. It's quite pacey, and people want to go. Like you really, as an audience, are in this treasure hunt. You're part of it because you're like on the same line with Max and Miranda. It's almost like a POV. you're on this treasure hunt, and then you have other episodes where you are. Where it's more like, where the personal relationship is more in the foreground because of other reasons. You can join in, and so it's. I think it's the mix, isn't it?
The variation, I think.
Yeah.
It's just not, I mean, I do enjoy, the kind of high octane, the stunts, the boats. That is fun, but I think it wouldn't be so much fun. It needs to be balanced out by other things as well. And I think like we offer a whole range, and the variety it just makes it a joy. Like you just no 2 days are ever the same, and it's just like,
yeah, I'm really thrilled to show it. I'm so happy for the people who love the show to go to season 3, and even to, I don't know, have other people find the show and enjoy it as well. I'm really thrilled.
My other question was going to be, the fact that it is moving to Prime Video. I mean, I don't know if that's something you dwell on much as actors, but, the fact that it be reaching potentially a global audience, perhaps in a different way. So the fact that people might be discovering it for the first time, maybe is exciting as well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about that so much. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
I hope loads of people watch it.
Yeah, we love Max and Miranda. The more people who have access to it, the better it is. It's the more people are entertained, the better it is. That's why we do this job,
And I was also thinking, what is it that's about, this kind of genre, these sort of detective shows, there just seems to be such an enduring appeal for them. Were there any that you watched sort of when you were growing up, perhaps, that maybe informed your love of this one? And what do you think is particularly about this show that people love?
I wouldn't say that there's anything that stands out for me growing up. Starsky and Hutch, maybe a little. Look, I think people like it because at the heart of it, there is a relationship drama, and I think they really like the characters and the chemistry. But I think it's just to show that it's not taxing, and it's escapism, it's easy watching, it's like tongue-in-cheek, doesn't take itself seriously, knows exactly what it's supposed to do, and does it really well. And I think people can just sort of sit back and have a little holiday while they watch it. It's just something that's just, to be enjoyed.
Good quality, that's what I think.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with me. And I can't wait for everyone else to get stuck into the Mallorca Files season 3. Thanks a lot.